Hi, this is Donna. Welcome to DD Paper Crafts. In today's video, we're going to be making this cute little box with a slide in and out lid. The box is 5 inches on the long side, 3 inches on the short side, and it's 3.5 inches high. It's not a difficult box to put together, and it will be easy for you to resize this and for you to change up any of the elements as you so wish. So without further ado, let's put the box together. For the long sides of the box, you'll have 2 pieces which are 6 by 4.5, and on all 4 sides score at 1/2 inch. Along the short side, we're going to score at 3 7/8 inch down to the 1/2 inch score line, like so. Flip the piece over and do the same for the other end. Fold and burnish. We've got our 2 additional score lines at the top. We're going to start by removing the bottom left and right hand squares. Take a wedge from the end of this base glue tab. You can take a wedge from the ends of the side glue tab. We're going to cut up the left hand score line down to the additional score line in the 1/2 inch tab. So this is my additional score line. I've cut down to there. Rotate and cut up the additional score line to remove that section. Do the same at the other end. We're going to leave the ends of these straight, but we can take a wedge from these side glue tabs. So this is how your piece will look. We're then going to create the ledge, which is going to allow the lid to slide in. You'll need 2 pieces which are 1 inches by 5 inches, and along the short side score at 3/8 inch and at 1/2 inch. So you'll end up with these 2 score lines which are very close together. Fold and burnish, and just take care as you burnish along the 2 score lines which are close. So you want to end up with a piece which is shaped like this. We're going to glue our piece into place by gluing the 1/2 inch section of this piece onto the back of this top glue tab, like so. And then I'm going to add glue to the smaller section and fold the ledge over so that it adheres to the inside, like so. Now, before you do any gluing, just sit your ledge into position like so. Make sure that it's sitting in the right formation, and just see if you need to extend the line down the side of the side tab. You're almost better to have it slightly too big than slightly too short. I'm going to add quick grab glue onto this 1/2 inch section. Stick that to the top tab. Now, if you do find you have any overhang at the ends, you can always trim that after. And indeed, if you do find, because of the way you've scored, any of the base ledge is sticking beyond, you can trim that down after. So once that's in place, I'm just going to burnish that down, trying not to move anything. I'm then going to just fold this piece back and add glue onto the 1/8 inch section, and then fold that over so that that is sticking in place. I'm just going to go in with my score tool and just burnish that down. So this is creating the ledge on which the lid is going to run along, and you do want to make sure this is fully secured in place. So if you do that on both pieces, For the shorter sides, which are going to join all the pieces together, your piece will be 4 inches times 1/16 under 3 7/8 of an inch. On the shorter side, score at 1/2 inch. Rotate so that you've got your 1/2 inch tab at the top, and we're going to score down to the 1/2 inch score line at 1/2 inch and at 3 1/2 inches. We're then going to shape this end tab. I'm going to draw in pencil lines. You may want to mark them with a pencil, or you might be happy to go in with your scissors, but we're going to cut from the end of this 1/2 inch score line diagonally to create our 2 end pieces. So I'm going to cut up the 2 score lines within the 1/2 inch, like so. Cut a wedge from the inside, and then follow my pencil lines and cut up to the top. You could use your trimmer if you'd be happier. And then fold and burnish. We're now going to stick our ends onto our side, so they are going to stick together like so, and hopefully you should find that the top edge of your end is there or thereabouts the end of the cut piece in the side panel, as it were. So if I line up my 2 base score lines, you can see that my end panel and my side panels are meeting up where the end of the cut line is. Once your side and your end is joined together, you can then join up the 2 pieces to create our box base, and then we can add on our base, and our base will be a piece which is 3 inches by 5 inches, so we can use that to square everything off. We're now going to start with the lid, and we'll make the handle first, and this is a piece of 5 inch by 2 3/8 of an inch, and we're going to score along the short side at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2 inch and 2 inches. Fold and burnish, and then we're going to create a tube by adding glue to the glue tab, and that is going to come together like so. For the lid, you'll have a piece which is 6 inches by 5 inches. Along the 6 inch side, score at 1 7/8 and 2 7/8. Rotate 180 degrees and score at 1 7/8 and 2 7/8. Fold and burnish along your score lines, and your 2 outer score lines are going to be valley folds, and your 2 inner score lines are going to be mountain folds. We're then going to take our tube, and we're going to stick our tube in the section in the middle of the lid. So once that's in place, add glue along the either side, and then bring these pieces down so that the tube is completely encased. I'm just going to hold that in place like so. I've then cut an additional piece which is 5 inches by 4 inches, and I'm going to use that as a strengthener for the lid. So the lid piece will look like this. This is going to add some rigidity to the lid piece. Now, you may decide that you don't actually need the tube. I just think that the tube adds an element of strength to this top section. Now, you should find that your lid fits down in between the 2 gaps. You can see my piece is just a 1/16 of an inch either side too wide. So I'm just going to literally take a 1/16 of an inch off. Now we should find that slots nicely in the top in between the two ledges and sits nicely on the top like so. So I'm going to get on with my decoration. Here's my finished decorated box. You can see I've added some decorative element onto all four of the sides. I thought this would be a nice box to gift seeds in. I've completely covered the lid in patterned paper, like so. The pattern paper on the long sides is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. And on the shorter sides, I made myself a template. This is cut from a piece of paper which was 3 3/4 by 3 1/8. And on the bottom side, I've measured in, and that's given me a base which is approximately 2 7/8. But I would always say cut yourself a template and sit it on the top so you can check the look of it against how your sides are glued together. The box would be very easy to resize, and overall I'm really happy with how this box has come out. I hope you've enjoyed today's project. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and until next time, thanks for watching.